guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my review on the book A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Warning, I probably will pronounce everyone's name wrong, so please correct me in the comments. I'm fine with that. So I was going to do a reading vlog with this book, but I ended up reading it in one day. Literally in one sitting, and I love it. So automatically I give this book a 4.8. So I might even bump it up to a 5. As of right now, I give it a 4.8 stars. I was interested the whole day. I could not put this book down. Every time I put it down to like eat or go do something, I was just thinking about the book of like what's gonna come next, blah blah. This was really good. I was really nervous about starting a different fantasy genre, I guess, but I do like fantasy romance, so this was right up my alley. I was very shocked at how interested I was in it. This book is basically about a girl. She is 19. Her name is Fair, I believe. I don't know, I probably pronounced it wrong. She hunts, and she has to hunt animals for food because of things that happened with their family. Their family were pretty well off, but her dad's business got into a shipwreck and they lost all their money, so they ended up having to move into like the middle of the woods, little cottage, and basically they were poor now. So she has to hunt and trap for food while her sisters do nothing. They do nothing. Her dad can't really do much because he like broke his leg. His business partners decided to basically like beat him up because of how much money he lost in the whole shipwreck. So he doesn't really do much, and their mother passed away a few years ago. Don't really know much about it, but that's what's going on. So Fair basically ends up hunting down a wolf, or so she thinks. So she takes it into town to go sell it for money so they could buy food, clothes, or whatever her sisters wanted, because her sisters are really materialistic and they don't appreciate anything at all, and it's really sad to read about. Because she killed this wolf, apparently it is not a wolf, it's like a higher wolf, and there's like this other world where there's like fairies, but they're like beasts. They're like, they look like wolves, but they're like bigger and stronger and whatnot. So that's like the other world. She accidentally kills one and is forced to go live with them in their land and basically be a slave to them, or so she thinks. Her town only knows about this as a legend, that they are very horrible creatures, that they kill, they do horrible things to humans. So if a human does kill one, then they have to go be a slave to them. So one came to her door and basically took her away and sacrificed her to be their slave for eternity. But once she gets to the land, she realizes that they're not actually like killers or like scary killers that she was taught her whole life. Some crazy things happen. She really learns about like their culture and how they live and everything, and she ends up falling in love with one of them, and the rest is history. But there is some crazy things that she does for love, and I really enjoyed it. One thing that I did not really care for is the fact that, I don't know, I felt like the competitions were led on a little too long. They went on longer than they should have gone for, but it was interesting. I immediately bought the next book the next day on Amazon, and I'm really excited to read it. Another thing that I didn't care for is that Fair does not listen to directions at all. Like, she's a child. She was told to stay in one room for her safety, and she didn't, and she almost died like 3 times. She almost dies like 3 times because she does not listen to the beast, and when they tell her to stay somewhere because it's not safe, she goes out and literally just doesn't listen, and she does her own thing, and that really annoyed me. I caught myself rolling my eyes a couple of times because I was like, girl, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. Stop. Just stop and listen to directions. So yeah, she had a pretty good life in this palace. I did like how fast the romance went, and I'm really excited to see how it's gonna go in the next books. I heard like the last one is really good, so we'll see. This is a book that I read in one day, and I don't remember the last book I read in one day. I think it was one of the Twilight books actually that I read in one day. Was it New Moon or Eclipse? I think it might have been Eclipse. I was really interested in this book, and I I love the colors. It is very eye-catching, and yeah, so I give this book a 5-star rating only because I rate it a 4.8, and I'm just going to bump it up to a 5 because why not? There wasn't much that I did not like, and it wasn't enough to give it like a whole star down, but I fairly enjoyed this, and because I read it in one day, that basically automatically bumped it up to 5 stars. So I highly recommend this book if you guys are interested in reading some kind of like fantasy or romance. It doesn't have too much romance, so it's not like rated R. I mean, 50 Shades of Grey, but there's a couple scenes that's pretty spicy. But I do recommend this book to anyone who likes fantasy romance and likes to read about like werewolves and fairies and all that. It was really good. So I am starting the second book today as I post this on Thursday, so I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know down below if you read this book or if you're planning to read it. I would love to know. And I will see you in my next video.